Hey guys, this is a super short video. So recently I was on Clubhouse, which is one of the this kind of voice-based social networking app, and definitely there's lots of this kind of chat room talking about user experience design, and I was participating in lots of it. So just some of the sharing, some people come back and say, actually it's kind of helpful. So why not just kind of making a short video? So this is a story coming from a designer, a young designer who just graduated from a UX bootcamp, transitioned into UX career, and she started kind of like working in this kind of consulting by project-based project, right? And the problem he run into is like all the project he actually received is still a little bit on the UI design, graphic design, visual design aspect, and every time there's a client coming up to challenge him in terms of like user research, working with engineers, get to knowing the technology, he feel like he gets stuck. He's not able to kind of like score those projects and feel like his kind of UX design career is plateau from that point, and is looking for a solution, right? So the first question I asked him is like, have you actually worked as an in-house designer before? He said no, right? So this is actually for any kind of like people who transition into UX design field or working in consulting, considering to learn more. I would say to my recommendation actually to at least 1 year, at least try one time of to being an in-house designer. So let me start with sharing one story I heard. Right. So when I was going out for a conference, I used to run into a person. His name is Barry Cates. He's actually a fellow of IDEO, one of the part of the founding team of IDEO. He shared a story about he have a chat with Steve Jobs at the time, and to ask Steve to give a career advice for young designers, right? And Steve just think about that problem, that question a little bit, and answer, "Don't work for consultant." Typical Steve Jobs, right? Like poking an ideal guy and saying, "Don't work for consultant." So Barry is a little bit mad and asks like, what is behind that recommendation? And Steve just say, "Because you are not responsible." So this is a very this answer resonate with myself quite a lot, right? If you look at Steve Jobs' bio, he always kind of the way he defines success is really, have you make a dent in the universe? Have you able to ship your product as well as making a positive impact in the society, right? So that is really the things that I find the difference. One small difference between the in-house designer as well as compared to a this consulting-based UI designer is really, have you able to experience that end-to-end flow? Have you able to research the market problem with your PM, choosing the right problem to solve, working with the PM engineering team, come up with a solution, shipping that product, and the end user really say, "Oh, actually, the first problem you research with me, you solve it," right? So another thing is really about designer learning in terms of feedback loop of learning, right? So during the design process, you may make a decision, A, and to validate that decision, maybe it's 1 year later when the product is shipped and the user is actually using it. So you knowing this decision I made during the design process is a good decision, actually solve the problem, or is a bad decision, actually causing user confusion, for example, right? So that end-to-end feedback loop is really able for you to focus to knowing next time in my design career I run into a very similar problem, I have this experience, this feedback loop to back me up to make the right decision next time, right? So that is a short advice I gave to that designer. So hopefully it's helpful to my YouTube audience. Thanks a lot. See you guys in the next video.